I always do this. G'day and welcome. So in this video we're looking at just cleaning up in the garage a little bit. There's very little cleaning up going on. All I've done really is just move crap from one end of the garage to the other to gain access to the 750. We have a bit of a look at the 750 and also a Edelbrock 600 carburetor. Same sort of thing we did with the Autolite. Probably not to everyone's taste, but it needed to be done. Also started, I haven't got that in this video, this is just a headlight for a project bike. I've started bodyworking it because I welded a piece on the top and blocked some holes up and created a bigger hole in the back. So that's originally a police CB750 light, which I'm grafting onto a 350 with a 750 speedo, which is the reason it's been modified. So that's not really in this video, but it's just sort of, normally around this time of year I start doing bodywork, so I've got to get into that XC garden. That's sort of my way in, if you know what I mean. So anyway, I hope you enjoy. I thought the postman came. I'm waiting on deliveries and I thought I got lucky, but I got Dave instead. You look like a dick with a hat on. That's awesome.
Ride's great.
Yeah.
Ride's fantastic.
Good. We just got to get that guard and it still hasn't arrived yet. We ordered an aftermarket because the paint's coming off because Dave power washed it. We knew that was going to happen though. Yeah, but I knew that had happened, and I thought before anything it had come off from underneath, from being chipped and all that sort of stuff.
This maiden voyage to the bottle shop. It's just done about 10k. But nothing's fallen off, so you've done a good job.
Well, we both did it. Look at the goods.
Great, good fun.
It looks too small for you.
I had a guy comment at the bottle shop.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What did he say?
First day, it's fantastic.
Oh good.
First stop on it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Great.
Oh, at least you don't need Sorry?
Good
Yeah, likewise.
I'll pop in again when I'm really allowed to.
Yeah. Oh, you're allowed to now.
Don't video that. Don't video that.
I'm videoing it.
Don't video any of that.
I decided today was a good day to have a bit of a clean up. I've got just crap absolutely everywhere. That bench there, I ruined. I actually narrowed it. I took 6 inches or something off it so it'd fit in next to the Plymouth, and it's a pain in the neck because I can't even access it, so I want to move that. I've just got loads of stuff with, like the MG, that's got to come out. I want to put the tack in it that Harvey did and started. It's been started in 18 months or so. The XC we know about, the XW, that isn't even getting used at the moment. I just moved Dave's welder out the way. Bought a cheap helmet. Not great, but I really needed one. I don't see the 750 is going to fit there. And then there's a cabinet with an engine, this little Starley engine. Hang on a minute, there we go. And that's going to go over here because that poor old 750 is neglected there. I want to get an exhaust for that quite soon. And get it started again, because it hasn't been started in ages, probably 18 months as well. So that's Grant's boot trim, and he sent another one to the bonnet and told I've lost it. Oh no, the boot trim's in there, that's just an empty cylinder. The boot trim's in the car. But this, yeah, we're supposed to get it on the 12th. When did he send this one? This was a while ago, but this came at a good time. Oh, that was January this year, 22nd of January. He sent that, so there's another one coming too. I look around at, what can I throw? So I've thrown out heaps of stuff, and I look around, and the only things I want to throw out are things like old sleeping bags and that sort of thing, but periodically the kids have friends over. They're all bagged up and we use them, but as far as up there's the old 750s fuel tank and a lot of tools there from Rainmakers Motors when they closed. and I don't use them all the time, but I do use them. Recoil kits, and there's a Starlet power steering kit up there and a few other bits and pieces. And then in the shelves, all your nuts and bolts and O-rings and split pins and all those sorts of things, fuel hose, all that kind of thing, spare lenses. But I use pretty much everything in this place. I don't always use the manuals, but you don't get rid of manuals. Paint supplies and that sort of thing. Bikes and projects going on. I'm not planning on using that Starley engine, but I wanted to move all of that kit over to where the Honda is over here. I'm not happy with it there. I don't access it. It just sits there and gathers dust. So I want to uncover that. Oh, they were throwing these out at work. They're little camera stands. Let's see if this works. Hang on a sec. Just a minute. I'll put you on there. So you tie the tripod. Oh wow, that's cool. Hang on a minute. This looks really spiffy. And you tie them up. The media department was chucking them out. And I saw her on the way to the dumpy and I said to her, what are you doing with those? She goes, throw them out. Do you want them? I said, yeah. It's rough. Maybe that's why. Pump the tyres up. Tyres are flat. That's a pain in the ass. I mean, look, I don't need to do this. I'm not going to pull this one right down. I'm just going to clean it a bit, blow it out. Have a sticky underneath it. There'll be metering rods in there. This is based on an AFB carter, I think. So this is only just as something to do. I don't need this carburetor at the moment. I've certainly no plans to use it in the near future. But this means this is good because I can have, oh look, that fits. I can have a Rochester, a thermoquad, this and an Autolite, all done, ready to go, and I'll just use what I want. Because I have got the XW that needs the 4-barrel putting on. Is these pinned over? No, they're not. The XW needs a 4-barrel, and I've also got another 351 engine, which I'm going to be building at some point. I just haven't got the car to put it in, but I will get one. You know what I'd like? ZK Fairlane. I remember seeing him at the motor show in 1982, and the V8s in them are very, very rare. I'd love to get one of those, particularly the green one. They've got the most plush velour interior in them. They're just beautiful cars and underrated. What the f is going on with this? So again, if I get any nonsense out of this, all I will do, oh, they got some crap on the end of them, doesn't matter. We will figure it out. So yeah, I don't need this, but I'm just going to clean it up a bit, make it look extra spiffy, and then put it in a bag. There we go. Spring-loaded metering rods. Sweet. And whatever I need to plate. I'm just looking at silver plating. I don't want to get any gold done this time. Well, let's just pull this little bloke apart and have a look. Someone's done away with the choke on it. That would have been Peter. I don't know if he's played with the jetting in it. He's the sort of guy that would have. But I just want it to look really schmick. So if I decide to use it, well, I will. This guy can come out too. Yeah, we'll plate that. What the hell? Why not? What's left? A couple of screws here. It looks like a tidy version of a thermoquad. The thermoquad's a very messy carburetor. They are rated at something like 850 CFM or something enormous. That's before you even get to the big one that the 440 Chryslers had. Okay. Are there any more screws? Oh my gosh, there's one at the front. Didn't see you in there. This is the shiny finish one, this too. It's not the dull one. can't be bothered going to get my magnet. Now, is that going to land? Oh, God, come on. Let's have a sticky. I've never been inside one of these guys before. What is going on? It's hanging on by some thread, and I'm not sure what. Is the gasket? Because I don't want to rip that. Well, let's have a look. Come on, off you get. Hang on a minute, it's the gasket. Where's my blade? Where is my blade? Hang on a minute. Oh, come on, where are you? Here you go. Can I leave the blade down, I wonder? No, it wants to come up. It looks nice inside anyway, put it that way. I don't think it would. This I remember, and he went to Calder and he pulled a 15 to flat, which is a 15 and a half quarter mile, which is standard for what the car would do anyway, whether it be a thermo quad or not. I think he hoped this would give him a big performance gain. It didn't. It was no different. If it's the one I'm thinking of, and I'm sure this is the Carby, because when he went overseas, I think he gave all John his stuff back to John Gibbo. See, that is squeaky as bugger inside. We don't need to do anything to that. Oh crap, that's really bad. Even though it feels schmick. And I'll just pull him out. And I think we just blow the arse out of this stuff. We can take these out, which is cool. How the hell does that work? Wow, that's weird. Didn't even know about that. Did they come out? Let's take these out, see if we can clean up in here. We've just got Torx bits here. It's quite a modular thing, isn't it? It's sort of all... That's so cool. We can clean them individually. That's wicked. Let's have another look at this. Let's take the other one off. And with the carburetor facing, is this the front? Yes, that's the front. With it facing the front. Gee whiz, that's not bad. Love to plate those, but I'm not going to touch that. They're riveted on. I'll just blow all that out, I think. What about on this side at the front? I don't think I need to do much with this. I'm just going to give it a quick tidy up and put it back together, and I'll get some stuff plated just because I've got a load going and I don't want to... Whether you take one string in or 10 strings in, it's sort of $50, you know what I mean? Like, they don't really care. Well, they don't appear to. This is really good the way this is designed. I had no idea they were like this. That's so bloody good. All your emulsion tubes, everything's just tied up in that one part. I really like that. I've never seen a Carby like it. I've never pulled one of these apart before. How do you have his mixture set up? Let's have a look at this. Half, 1, 1.5, 2. Half, 1, 1.5, 2. He had them set at 2. I'm sure he would have played with that stuff. Take these out, eh? Let's have a look. I really don't think it's necessary to do anything more. I might take that squirter out, which is likely to have a smaller Torx bit. Yes, it has. Have I got one? Yes, I do. Let's take that out. It's pretty impressive, this. Now, is there a ball behind here? Yes, there is a check valve, which is that guy. I'll just turn him up, drop it out. There's a ball and a brass thing. That will keep the fuel pressure, well, the fuel up there, so it doesn't just sort of drain down and give you no thing. And that's it. That's bloody well it. Bit of a blowout. It's a bit stiff, maybe on the secondaries. It just needs a bit of CRC or something in it. I don't think it's worth doing much with it at the moment anyhow. Clean as a whistle. Check that. Get your laughing gear around that. That's what we used to say in the 80s. It's got some pitting on it. You could blast it, but I'm just not going to bother because I'm not going to use it at the moment anyhow. How did these go? Did they go that way? Did they go that way? Did it go this way? How did that go? Did it go? Tricky. Nope. Did it go? Look at that. Alright. So this was the big guy that went in the back, like that. And this one went on this side, like that. This is like a toy, this thing. It's actually, I've never worked on a carburetor like it. I'm barely working on this, I'm just playing on it. Why did that go down? Why would you go down? Well, let's try again. Maybe it's got to be dead square. Maybe I've knackered it or something. I don't know. That might go down for some reason. Why isn't it going down? Have I blown something out of order? These sort. Ah, there we go. You can't force that sort of stuff. It's just going to work or it's not. Right. Let's have a look at that. Where did I put the? And I checked the gaskets already there, like these ones here. They have to all be sort of sitting in the right spot. Otherwise, we've done the wrong thing. Where's screws for these? Which ones are they? I think it's these ones. They're all the same length. Yeah, look pretty much similar. Alright, so I'm going to tighten these up. And I'll be back. Alright, with the back of the float towards me. Just going to take those out. The needle. The other float. Oops. And its needle. And they've got a broad screw stick. I'm going to take these out. I'll take the gasket off. I will attempt to take the gasket off. Just a minute. Let me take those seats out. Right. Bloody hell. Oh gosh, that was tight. There should be a fibre washer. Oh, look, there is. And the side. Just a sec. Let me just push you up. There we go. Same stuff. Fibre washer, needle and seat. Yep, all good. We take that off, which is even sweeter. That's as empty as buggery. I might just pop that out to see if there's a filter or anything in there. Hopefully it didn't break anything. Oh, there's a little gauze thing in there. And is that a gasket? Some sort of gasket? You know what? She's right. Let me just go blow this out. Let's give it a bit of a wipe in here first with a bit of Scotch-O-Brite. Just to get rid of some of this corrosion pitting crap that's in there. And then I'll be back. This is a bit dirty what I'm doing, but this carburetor should be fantastic as a sort of a bench carby. Good for the engine running stand, that sort of stuff. How do these go? Like that? Or like that? No, they go like that. The Holly 600, I've got one of those as well. So I'm going to have a look at that. Next time I'm going to get some gold stuff done, I'll dig the Holly out and make it look all nice again. And bits of this and the quaddy as well. I've had a quaddy on an XC. I tried one on the 351 XC I had when I was a kid. And they've always been really responsive. I was at Nielsen Holden when the VK was the current model. Well, I've got to put that bloody squirter thing on. And they were super responsive in those things, but in the XC it wasn't. So I've got a mix sort of, I'm in two minds about whether to keep it for that. How do these go? That goes like that. Yeah, it does go like that. But I'll keep it anyway, because I like having the choice. And I can muck around and experiment and try this, try that. And it's expensive stuff to buy if you go out and buy it. But if you have it already here, then I can muck around. Because I've still got that other engine to do. And I know what I'm like. I'm going to get sick of doing bikes and go back to cars and get sick of cars and go back to... I know what I'm like. I'm just like that. So this is just because I'm about to go and pick up a load of stuff and I need to take some more. So I've got to just ensure that I'm sort of ready for that. Because I've got to go inside in a moment and just write a heap of lesson plans. I haven't done it yet. Alright. Does that go on yet? No, that goes in there. There's a little rebate for that to sit in. Get in there, you son of a gun. I always say that, don't I? Let's have a look. Get in that little hole. There's a rebate for it. Sweet. Right, and then that little guy goes there. Metering rod's going later. Yeah, I think that's about right. Floats are in the wrong way. I think they're right. Doesn't matter. We're not using this yet anyway, so when we do go to use it, when we go to use it, I will muck around with it then. So, that needs to go like that, and then that just drops on. What do you think? That feel right? That feels quite dandy. It's clean, isn't it? What I might do, let's pop a screw at the back, screw at the front. I don't think I'll plate the screws. I was thinking, yeah, you know what, I'll plate the screws, but I don't know, man. I'm thinking to myself, too much plating. These metering rods. How cool is that? So much nicer than the thermoquad. And they just go in. Hey, have you just been for a walk? Rosie, I've got the camera on. These things look a bit mangy, but the good thing about these is they're symmetrical. So I can just put that way. Ta-da! And screw it in and Bob's your uncle. Time to use my wheels again. I don't think I've achieved too much. I've just moved all that crap there. I'm on the wheels, and shaking around from over there so I can put this 750 there. We're going to do some work on this. It's all dusty. And I'm about to order pipes for it. I can't do it yet. It's probably going to be the end of the month. And then we'll get it out, start it up. I just wanted to get ready for it. I'm going to take that alternator cover off. The engine feels a bit sticky. It always did feel sticky with the new rings. But I just want to make sure it's rotating properly. So I'm just going to whip that cover off and have a look. I'm really paranoid about this thing. It was stuck on the starter, on the Kickstarter, but it's free. It's always had that sort of, that initial sort of oomph, if you know what I mean. It's always been quite difficult on it. I don't know the reason. So I'm going to bang this back together. The problem is, stupid head, me, left in a whole lot of off fuel in the carburetors, or at least it's gone off. So that's less than ideal. So I'm just going to bang this back together quickly. It goes in there somewhere. It goes like that. I'm sort of pissed off with myself for doing that though. It's a really stupid mistake to make. Where are these? I'm just going to stick some screws in. And I'm not going to tighten them fully, or at least I'll only put a couple of them in because I'm going to be pulling this off again. And I've got a hunch I'm going to be pulling carburetors apart. That didn't sound good. And the carbies on this are a pig. They're those ones with the accelerator pump, and you know, less than ideal. I would prefer the older style carbies. So which one's that? That would be one of these ones. No. One of these ones. No. It's this one. That's the one. So I've got to clean it up. This bike's been neglected. I sort of stopped fiddling around with it. I got a bit frustrated with it, to be frank, because everything on it was knackered. It's like the XC. Like everything was stuffed. And it sort of annoyed me a bit, so I had a break from it. And now it looks as though I'm only going full tilt on it again. It's just so dirty. This was the rim I had re-chromed, and I wasn't wrapped in the guy that did it, but his work was good. I mean, look at that. So this is all just dust and probably a bit of that green overspray from the Starling when I painted it. But the thing that's frustrating about this bike is that it's had everything new in it. Absolutely everything. Although I didn't bore it, but all the gearbox bearings, engine bearings, everything I replaced. completely rebuilt it, and it's turned out to be quite a challenge from a motivational standpoint, because it was just so munted when I got it, and it was never a bike I should have got. And so I've become careless with it, and it's still not finished. I haven't got a seat. Well, the seat I've got's knackered. It's all rusted out. I haven't got a seat for it. I want to see if I can jack that brake pivot and stick it on the 350, because the 350's one's too short. Although this, if you cut one of these up, this is a K8. K7s and K8s have a longer swing arm. By the time they came out, Kawasaki and Suzuki, Yamaha had faster bikes than the original CB754. And so rather than selling it as a performance bike, they were sort of marketed more as a tourer by then. So they lengthened the swing arm and, you know, do all that sort of stuff to sort of make it more like a touring bike would be. But it's got a gut full of off fuel, and this is a really careless mistake of mine. I'll just go and get a screwdriver and show you. When I parked it up, I knew I was supposed to drain the carburetors, and I didn't because I'm an idiot, and now it smells like varnish. And it'll come out. Why didn't I do that before? And it stinks. So I'm an idiot. And there's just no way around that. I don't think they're blocked. I don't think any orifices will be blocked yet. It hasn't been in there long enough. But, you know, that stinks, and it's not even flammable, I wouldn't think. But I've got to get this going sooner than later. I'm not putting those temporary headers I made on, because that wouldn't work. I need to go and get an exhaust system and get it going pronto. And then it'll give me another, you know, I would think more of a, what's that? Oh, that's come off. It'll give me more of a boost to try and get motivated with it. But it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous how long it's taking. I'm just going to drain these ones out. Here we go. Brown fuel. I just hope after all that work that it's okay. Are they draining out? I can't see. Oh, here we go. The crazy thing about this bike, it will owe me more than those two over there finished, combined. The 350 and the 250. And I paid a bit for the 350 too. But this was a bit of a no expense spared gig. Even the rims are genuine. That's a new rim. Just everything on it was so knackered. And I never actually redid the gauges either. But the tank's a work of art. But even the chain and sprocket, it's not a standard 530. I think it's a 630 chain on these. Have I even got a chain guard? I don't even think I've got a chain guard for it. Like, everything on it was just so far gone. So, and I paid $3,000. That's what you pay for a CB750 in this neck of the woods. They're not cheap bikes at all. The K8's probably the least desirable of all of them. K7s and K8s. K0, did they have a K0? Up to K6. They're the good ones. They're the ones you want. But that doesn't mean this won't be a good bike. It's a lovely bike. But they did come with the 4x4. We're going to stick a 4x1 on, because that's going to be economically the most viable thing to do. I've got to put that headlight back in. I took it out recently to check the connector on it. Yeah, so, you know, Gary sent over a pair of indicator lenses and the tank, which was hands down the most generous thing you can do. That all came from Canada. So this is a bike we're going to keep. We don't accept donations from people and then sell them off. That's not going to happen. I think once we're riding it, we'll love it. I think it's going to be like, this was worth every cent. It's going to be one of those. Park him up in his new home over here, and that way I can access it, start it up, keep an eye on it, do you know what I mean? Rather than sort of over there behind the cars, where it was just too difficult to get to. It's a diabolically handsome bike though. I mean, God, That's why I don't like changing the style of these things. I just reckon they look beautiful. Right, so I'm going to move him back over there, and we're good. I can wheel it easily now because I pumped the tyres up. They were flat. I haven't filled the forks up yet either. Plenty of room. Oh, right. That fits well. That's much better there. I'm happy with that. But there's yards of it. Look at it. I'll give you a better perspective. This wheelie bit's pretty cool. If you look at it compared to the 250, the angle's probably wrong to look at that. But it's a much, much bigger motorcycle. And the 350 is sort of somewhere in between. Well, everything's back inside with more crap over there. I didn't really achieve that much. All I did was just swap junk from one side to the other. Well, it's not really junk. There's a whole lot of stuff in there that I'm still using. The XW is leaving it today because it's the old man's birthday. It's 35 years now since we lost him. And this car was due to be finished 5 years ago. I finished it 5 in a couple of months years ago. So that's still significant. And we've got a bit of room to get around here. I can get down there now. I mean, it doesn't look great, but it's better than it was because now at least I can work on the 750 and get that finished as well. So that's another project. So we'll knock over the bikes pretty quickly. And I really want to get the MG out because I've got to hunch the fuels off in this too. I haven't used that in ages. So I guess we'll just keep plugging away and tidying up and doing bits and pieces. Got to get this summer actually. I want to do the body mounts on this Plymouth. Then it can have glass put in and all that sort of stuff. Right, I'm out staying my welcome with this plating bizzo. I've had that nut done. I had some carburetor stuff to do for this guy here, and a whole bunch of other bits and pieces. I paid $20 and just bit the board and did it. Just to really put that back together, stick it into storage. So I've got a bunch of bits, mixture screws obviously, we're going to throw those in quickly. As I said, you know, this didn't have to be done. I don't intend to use this carburetor anytime soon, but if it's to a point, you know, all the gaskets, the thing's spotless inside, it just looks a bit sort of dull on the outside. It would have been one of those high sheen finish type gigs. So just really just had all these done. So I can just pop all the screws back into it where they came from and tighten them up. Remember how this goes? I didn't pay an awful lot of attention. I know most of the choke stuff was missing. I think that goes that way. What does that? No, I don't think it does. I think it goes this way. Yeah, right. Yeah, and I think that one there, that's the linkage that sort of... Which way does that go? Oh, gee whiz. I'm not winning. Yeah, that's it there. That stuff was missing though. A lot of the bizzo was gone. Hang on, what about if we put this on? Where does that go? Has that got a key or a clip, firstly? That's got a key in it. So, or does that just float in there? Has that got a... I can't see from here. No, that just floats. So that one would just go in there. Or does it float in here? I reckon that's supposed to have a clip. And there's a clip up here, but I think it just floats in the bottom. Anyway, whatever. Gee whiz. And then that will go in the accelerator pump. I'll just stick him in there. I don't know these carbies. This is the first one I've ever pulled apart. I reckon that guy goes in like that. There's the clip. Ah, gee whiz. And what about you? I think you go in there like that. So let's take a looky. That's it. That's it. Oh, that must be right. Right, okay, then we've got this guy, which has this fancy floaty thing on it. That damper. That damper will go in like that. And then there's, hang on, then there's the thing that goes in there. There we go. What is that? Yeah, no, that definitely goes that way. This is running the gauntlet. I've just taken the flare off these with the grinder. If that comes off, that is going to wind up the other side of next week somewhere, and I'll never find it, but thankfully I've done it. And I have been on too bored with this because I know I bang on. I've still got the Rochester Carburettor to do, which I haven't done yet. And whoops, I wasn't really planning on it. What the hell? I think that goes that way. That's a foot that controls the choke. But, you know, if I can have it so I've got a choice, I'm happy. I'm happy anyway, but you know what I mean. How's that going to hold in? Can I reach it with a socket? Yes, and we don't want to cross through this guy. That's it, that's splendid. Let's put those in. Let's put them in. With some lucky toe. Try not to drop them. I'm glad I never became a jeweler, because I would be rubbish. I don't like things that are too fiddly. If we can just start that, it's going to make life a bit easier. Sweet. Now Biggs, we used to call him Biggs, Peter has left off the choke stuff. Actually, is there another linkage? I think that was all just sort of flapping around in the breeze. I don't think yeah, that's all I got for this Kirby, because some of it's missing. That is obviously going to go something, whoops, like that. Right, so that's it. That's all I can really do with it. That's all I'm prepared to do with it. It's a nice little carby. Everything seems to, with the throttle, everything seems to work well on it. All good. It just needs a choke, and he would have put that on as a manual choke thing. I'd be inclined just to stick an auto choke on it. It just needs a linkage there, I think. But anyway, look, that'll do for that. I don't want to spend any more time on it. We got that done too, so yeah, you know. That can sit in a box and probably never get used, or get used soon. Don't know. I wouldn't put that on. Look, I'm more likely not to use it because I like factory-looking stuff. So, for example, thermoquads annoy me, but when you get them set up, they're quite good. I always like to store carburetors on a plateau of sorts just to keep them off the, you know, shafts and all that sort of stuff. Seal him up and put him back in the box. So that's about all for this one. Hope you've enjoyed it. There's more coming up. We have, apparently the gear I bought, the reduction gear for this engine here, is not in Florida anymore, wherever it was. It's now in Australia somewhere. It's just gone through customs. So that should be here in a few days. So I can put that engine together, and that sort of gets that out of the way, and you know, we'll go from there. There's still parts of the Suzuki that aren't here yet. I managed to, with that plating that I got back, there was only a little bit of it, but it means now that this master for the Suzuki is all done. Whoa, I dropped the thing for it. That was all sort of rusty inside, and I had that done as well. So it was another thing I needed to do. So now, as soon as that kit arrives, I can just put it all back together, and then, you know, that bike's done. So that, all this stuff's detailed in other videos. I just wanted to tell you what I've been up to. I took the XW out. I think in this video there was footage of it. It looked pretty dirty, so it's had a nice wash and it looks good again. And of course the MG you would have seen in the last video. So I guess the next thing is to pull that XC out. I've got to buff out the boot and put the new trim and the Fairmont GXL badge on the back. The trim from Grant, and I still haven't heard back from the front trim that he sent that Toll lost. Can't find it, and I need that. So we've been toing and froing in communication with them. At any rate, yeah, that's about all I've got for you. So take good care of yourselves, enjoy your classic, and I'll see you soon. What do you reckon? Shit.